Hey everyone, just wanted to jump on a live and give everybody an update. We'll just make sure I did this correctly. It's been a while since I've done a live. I went on here and I'm like, oh, I don't even remember what buttons to push. Hey Danielle. Hey Tara. Hi everyone. Oh my God, it's been so long. I'm alive. Hey Joe. Oh, I'm so happy it's working and my comments are working. Oh, I missed you too. Yeah, hey Robert, I wanted to jump on, give everybody a quick update. I don't have too long. I actually now have a contractor coming to my house in about half an hour to do some electrical work. So it's been crazy. I have missed you guys so much. Hi, Julie. Hey, Dee. Yeah, it's so nice to see you too. So I'm going to give you a quick update on the last couple months and give you an update on what's going to come in the next couple months. Hey, Audrey. So when was it? I think April. So in April, I knew that I was going to take the time off because my sister was getting married and I had to go to the island and do that. And so we had closed up, we did a couple of the webinars for the channeling sessions. And then what I did was we did the 22-day reset women's group. Hey, Silva. And that was amazing, right? And so in April, what ended up happening is I went to my sister's wedding and it was amazing. Like we chartered a plane, we went up to the glaciers, it was just great. It was so great. And then something said, you need a little bit time. So I kept getting the message, I needed a little bit more time just to kind of do me, if that makes sense. So that was back in April. And then when May hit, it was like I was blocked and I couldn't figure out why, right? Now I know why, but I didn't know this before. So it's like one of these things. If you listen to any of the messages, either my channeled messages or anything that came up from December 21st on, and it was pre-prepping us for this 2022 year. And this year was all about unity, right? But unity had to happen within and then without. So, it's like in any spiritual journey, you feel like you're doing it and everything's going good. And then what happens? Boom, God sends you another lesson and they're like, wait, you got to do this. Wait, you got to do this. So I realized in my astrology chart, I just actually figured this out a couple weeks ago. I had realized that in April, so the shift between April and May, Chiron in the transits was actually sitting on my North Node. Now, if anybody knows about your North Node, that's your soul purpose, right? That's what I see when I do readings. I see that energy grid. I see people's purpose, their soul path, their life lessons, all that fun stuff, their soul contracts. And so the Chiron, which is the wounded healer, bam, hit me hard. Plus, I'm an Aquarius, so Saturn is hitting all Aquariuses really hard because Saturn's sitting on our sun. But it was very interesting to see in the astrology chart, when May hit, it also hit my Mercury, which is your communication. So what ended up happening is I was being blocked, but I couldn't figure out for why, right? And everything just kept saying, go within, go within, go within. So that's what I've been doing for the last few months. And it's been incredible. Anyone who has followed me knows that I have had the biggest dream, and that was to go to England. So I actually went. I spent a month in England. It was incredible. It was the energy there. I can't describe it in words. I can't describe to you. I don't know why, but England has always felt like home. And there was just something in me that knew that I had to go. My family, so my last name, my birth last name is actually Lancaster. So my family is English. And it was like, as soon as I flew down into England, I just knew I was home. Everyone else who follows me also knows that the twin flame, or I don't like to use that word with him because my head, the guides always call us golden flame healers. I don't know what that is. Apparently one day I'm going to write a book about it. But so I never say his name on social media. Everyone knows him as MF. So I went all the way there hoping to kind of reconnect with him, and it didn't happen. And I'm like, then I got mad at God, right? Because we all do. We want something to go one way, you know, and then it doesn't go that way. And then you get hit and you're like, wait, I was so sure that I was supposed to go to England, and I was so sure, and everything in me told me to go. I did everything I was supposed to do. I asked for all the signs. My heart just knew I had to go. And it was like this time crunch, and I couldn't figure out for why, right? When I got there, it didn't play out the way that I thought it would play out. Like most people's lives, we think one thing's going to go one way and then it doesn't, or you get blocked on something else. I don't regret going to England. It was incredible. It was, oh man, I know, and I see it my soul path. Eventually I'll have a house here in Canada in the mountains, but I'll have one in England as well, right? But when they kind of put me on pause for the last couple months, I knew it was because I'm teaching everybody about this, 2022 year, right? And I'm teaching them about that unity within. But it's like my quote is, you have to inspire yourself and then we inspire the world, right? So if we don't do that work, and even when we think, oh yeah, fuck, I healed, fuck, I did it all. No, something else comes up and you're like, oh shit, where the hell did this come from? Right? I really needed to peel back the layers. The biggest one, most of you guys know, I channel, and it scares me. The reality is it freaks me the fuck out. I am a single mom of 2 kids. And when I teach a workshop that I don't know what I'm saying and I don't know what I'm teaching, scares me. Like, channeling does scare me. And I know it's a gift. I know I'm supposed to do it. And I know I have that free will to do it. And it's not that I don't like doing it. It's that when I channel, I personally, just human to a human, I can't watch it. Hi, hun. Hey, baby K. I can't watch it because it's just, I'm still human, right? Like, it's something talking through me. Anybody who's caught me channels knows, and just my human had a really hard time with it, right? I know that I'm supposed to do it. I know I can see on the soul path what's going to happen with it, but I had to come to the acceptance that I was born to channel if I like it or not. However, with any spiritual gift, we have the option of using it or not. So I've come to the place that I'll continue to channel. I am not, hey Brett, I'm not ready to watch myself channel. So, anyone that's taken my classes and these workshops, they know that I don't know what I say and I don't actually want to know. One day, maybe I'll have the courage to watch myself channel. But I always ask my guides, I'm like, do I have to watch what I teach? And they say, no, I'm just supposed to be a conduit. I'm just supposed to be that middle person. And which is good because my human is scared. Like, that's the reality, right? Doing the soul path readings, doing mediumship, all stuff like that, that's easy because I still get to stay me. But when I go into a full channel, oh my God, it's so crazy because it's like, you're not there. You're completely not there. And you're talking in like third party. It's like, for we want you to know, and just weird, crazy things. And just as a mom, as a human, freaks me out. Not gonna lie. But come October, I do have, because the message just keeps getting stronger, that it's like, if you surrender to your gifts and if you allow them to take over, so guides, whatever, God, universe, whatever we want to say, if I allow them to take over, then it's basically, they're just using me as a tower. Does that make sense? So it's kind of the same with like Esther Hicks. She doesn't know what she channels after she channels either. So for me, I just had to really take a few months to accept that this is who I am, if I like it or not. And I really had to go within and decide if I really wanted this, because we all have free will, right? I didn't need to, I could just do the readings and do the mediumship and not let myself channel. but I think I'm still supposed to. I know I am. And it's just going to be a fear that's going to come up, and it's funny because as humans, and spiritual people are no different, right? I may get all these messages, but sometimes it's a blessing and a curse, you guys. It's easy for me to see your grid and do a reading and see your stuff and tell you your soul connections and your life purpose and your life lessons and connect all those dots and see those energy blocks and all of that. But as a human to a human, when I know my own path, because I can see it for myself as well. But sometimes we don't have control over everything. Sometimes divine timing has to happen. Sometimes if you have a soul contract with someone else, that has to happen. After England, after I spent a month in England, oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to push buttons to wave to you all, but it's going faster than I can. Anyway, after the month in England, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I went all the way to England and he would not meet me. And I couldn't get it. I'm like, literally, I turned into a human. I'm like, God, universe, is this like a fucking joke? Right? I'm like, you know who you're supposed to be with. You know the plan. You know everything. But we all have free will. Same with the other people that we have those soul contracts with. So right now, what people are being asked to do, myself and everyone, is surrender. Completely surrender. 2022 is about unity for you, and then we see unity without. We really had to do the work because, oh God, see, I'm getting the goosebumps just saying it. The next couple years are going to be really hard. As a collective, it's going to be hard. We already see it playing out. It's been playing out for a long time, right? Oh, I don't know what. Sorry, Joe, I didn't see that. That passed too quick. Anyway, so it's already been playing out for a long time. So I got a message a couple weeks ago because I knew my head always told me September. So I knew I was coming back to the readings and everything come September. My head just kept saying September. You do this and then it falls, right? But I had to go within and I had to decide on my free will choice. Do I want to channel? Even though it scares the fuck out of me. What is it that I want to do? Aside from the soul contracts with other people, what was it, right? And I've really surrendered and I thought, I don't like channeling because it scares the fuck out of me. Is it needed? Yes. And so as long as I don't have to watch myself when I do those workshops, okay, that's my deal, right? That's the deal I'm going to have. It's interesting because, like I said, with the Chiron on my North Node and the Saturn sitting on my Sun and my Mercury, which put me in that pause, which is a good pause. It's good to go within because we can't help anyone. You can't help anyone unless you yourself is whole and complete. There's nothing to give. And so everything was going so fast between the one-on-one readings I was doing, the women's work groups, the channeling webinars, right? That I got scared. And you know what? It's funny because I didn't even realize that I was scared. I just knew I was supposed to be on a pause. It wasn't until I called MF, the twin flame in England, and I left him a voicemail and it just came out of my mouth. I literally said, I don't know why I can't bring myself to get back on Instagram, why I can't bring myself to get back to people. I'm like, I don't know why. I said, everything's going absolutely incredible. I love my clients. I love my job. And then it came out of my fucking mouth. I said, I'm scared. And it was interesting because I couldn't admit it to myself. I ended up admitting it to his fucking voicemail where I just said, I was scared. I felt like I couldn't get to people fast enough. I felt like I was letting everyone down because you guys, I have about 150 people in my message box right now. And I knew I was being blocked and being put on pause, but I just felt like I couldn't get to everyone. It's so interesting because in my life lesson, I'm scared of success, right? I'm a little redneck in Canada. I live in a town of 7,000 people. I know that I have certain gifts that I have the free will to use, and I've come to the decision that I want to continue that, right? But it was just scary. I got scared of how quick it was going. I got scared of not being able to help everyone fast enough. And yet no one's ever, I've never had a bad message. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually, God kind of protects me. I still never see any bad posts. I still don't see anything on COVID. I don't, anything on anything, right? And no one's ever got mad at me that I haven't got back to them. It was my own inside that just felt like there were so many messages and so many people, and I needed to find that balance, you know, between my kids and between life and everything. And then really going within and finding out if I still wanted to continue to be a channel, right? The problem with my channeling is I struggle to meditate and get into my human. So I'm always up here. So I'm like a fucking hummingbird. And I'm always like, okay, like, why is it so easy for like Esther Hicks and people like that? And my head always says, because I actually meditate. So that was another thing I really had to work on. I really had to go within, and I really had to learn how to tap back within me and not always be in the 5D, right? And for me, that's hard because I'm born to see everybody's energy grids. And so you're tapped into the higher selves all the time. So I've struggled with boundaries in my life. I have only seen people as their 5D, as their soul, and as their spirit. Haven't seen them as humans, which, to be honest, I like that about myself. I love that I can still love unconditionally even those who have hurt me, because I see that soul, right? Aw, thanks, Tara. Yeah, I didn't mean to worry anybody. Honestly, I was just put on pause, and then got to go to England for a month and got to just really, guess what happened though? Fuck, you will not believe it. So I go to England, I come home, and I'm home and I have to drive 12 hours. Okay. So my kids are 12 hours away at my parents' house. So I flew from England from there, dropped my kids off there, flew to England, did my whole soul searching, everything in England, came home, drove the 12 hours from my parents' house with my kids. I'm home for fucking 5 minutes. Okay. And my daughter comes upstairs and she's like, Mom, there's like a lot of water in the basement. And I'm like, pardon me? And she's like, yeah, like the basement's flooded. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Like, I just drove 12 hours home. I was just on a 14-hour, well, which turned out to be like a 17-hour flight with all the delays from England. And I come home and there's a flood. And I'm just like, yeah, seriously? Is this like a fucking joke? Right? I'm like, you have got to be kidding. And then, so I couldn't figure out what it was, the water. My house was so hot. So where I live, it's like 36 degrees Celsius. It's, you know, in the 40s, in the high 36s, or like 30s. And the house had been closed up for over a month and a bit because I was gone, right? And so I go to plug in a fan. My girlfriend drops off a couple fans, you know, just like house fans. And I go to plug it in downstairs, and fucking electrical just starts shocking. And I'm just like, oh my God, the plug-in started smoking. And I ran to the electrical box and I turned it off. And yeah, so I was home for like 10 minutes and I had an electrical problem and I had a flood in my basement. So I'm just like, what is happening? And then I went within and I'm like, okay. So I took the calling. I went to England. The twin flame didn't meet up with me, so that fucking sucked, but England was incredible. And then I come home and there's a flood in my house and electrical blowing up in my house. Single mom, 2 kids, middle of the fucking night. I just drove 12 hours. And I sat outside. I'm like, oh God, you better give me some kind of message here. And what my head said is that the message that I got was, you need to spend a little bit more time now closing up that 3D. And so I thought about it and I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? So I bought a house here in British Columbia, Canada, and I'm right in the mountains. And I have a huge house, but it's actually an older house. I bought it as an investment to turn around and flip it. Well, oh, hi, yes, I will get back. I see that you said that you sent me a text message. I'll fill you in on that in 1 second, for anybody who's looking for readings. So what I did with this house was I ended up putting everything on pause where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to renovate the house. I have too much going on, spiritually wise, business wise, and everything. Everything was just going so big, right? Well, I can't put it off on hold anymore. So I actually have a contractor coming in about half an hour. So the last couple weeks, I have been renovating my house. So it has been a crazy summer, going away for a month to England, coming home to now having to renovate and everything. But it's okay. I'm learning to surrender. And I'm learning that hour by hour is what my head keeps telling me. For if everyone can go hour by hour, for this is when they will see the changes happen in their life. And so right now, most of us, okay, so what are they showing me? Energetically, most of us have now come to the acceptance of the past. Most of you, well, they're saying about 89% who is watching this or going to watch it has. Okay. So you're finding that you're no longer really living in the past, but now is what's happening is that you're scared for the future. Holy fuck, I'm covered in goosebumps. So now what's happening is now you're worried about the future. And so the message for everyone, myself included, is right now, because it's too hard to get into that now moment, right? Like being in the pure now is like, okay, I'm picking up my coffee cup. I'm physically feeling the heat of the cup. Okay, I'm going to physically, do you know what I mean? Like you're literally in this second. And that's really hard for people. If you've always lived in the past and you're always worried about the past or the future, it's really hard to be in the present moment. So what you can do is go hour by hour. This is a message I got the other day. Go hour by hour to get gradually into the now, right? So what would that look like if you spent 5 minutes in the morning journaling about what is future or what you want to release from past, and then you fucking leave it at there. The rest of the day, you literally say, okay, I'm going to surrender to what is of my highest good and of the highest good of everyone in my life. You say that, and then only plan out your life hour by hour. And that's how you can start getting to the moment where you're in that power of now. Oh, my daughter just signed on. You must be awake. As you can tell, mom's on a live. So, yeah, the electrician's coming in like half an hour, by the way. So get dressed. Sorry, my kid just signed online. Anyway, I didn't think she watched my lives on this. So that's interesting. My daughter just turned 15 the other day. Emotionally, I'm really struggling with my kids getting bigger because I just feel like I'm way too young for this. Okay. She's like in grade 10. It's hard. Yeah. You keep telling yourself, don't worry about the future. It will be beautiful. Yes. So most people have already done the work though. Okay. Most people have already done the work on not being in the past. Yeah. 5 minutes in the past, 5 minutes in the future. Okay. So years ago, yeah, Randy, you were in my women's group, so you know about this. Okay. I'll tell you a little story. Years ago, I was in a very, and most people already know this about me, but very abusive relationship with my ex-husband. He's a good person, heart and soul. He's just a military veteran and really messed up. Okay. And it was bad. It was really, really bad. I hope my daughter's not watching this anymore. So, things have happened. Lots of bones broke, certain things, right? Still love them as a soul because he's my greatest teacher. All right. But what I had to do, because every day was so, I just didn't know what was going to happen that day. Didn't know if that was the day the door was going to get kicked in again. Didn't know if this was going to happen or this or this. It was just, I was living in so much fear because I didn't know. I knew something was going to happen because my intuition shows me that, but I didn't know what and when. So what I did was my head taught me a 5x5 rule. And I teach this to my clients too. If something did not happen in the last 5 minutes, do not spend longer than 5 minutes on it. And if something is not happening in the next 5 minutes, do not spend longer than 5 minutes on that as well. Okay? Try to stay in that present moment. And again, the present moment, like the physical present moment is like, I am feeling the warmth of this cup. I am grateful. I am this. That's being in the present. That's really hard for people. Okay? Even someone like me, it's very, very hard. But I challenge you all for the next week, only live in the hour by hour. Okay? hour by hour. And then what I'm hearing is my head, Jesus, sorry, it's going so quick, is what they're saying is to start to teach yourself to get into the power of now, start living hour by hour. This will then help you funnel in so that eventually you can be in the full power of now in the present moment. However, if you can pre-program your segments, look at every hour as a pre-planned segment. So before going within that hour, pause yourself, go within and ask yourself, what does this hour look like? Pre-visualize it in your mind and then surrender and let it go and let it flow. Just one sec, guys. Okay. I don't know what I just said, but hopefully I can figure out what time that was at. Okay. So anyway, whatever that was about getting into, to just go hour by hour is what I'm hearing. Okay. Try to go by hour, and then you can start working into being in that present moment. Most of you have done the work about the past, and now don't worry about the future. Surrender. These last 3 months are really, really important because 2022, oh, fuck, I'm covered. I need a sweater. 2022, unity within first, and then we see unity without. Then the relationships come, then the unity, the equal friendships, then the equal everything comes after, okay? But if you felt a calling like I just did in the last few months to kind of go within, then you need to do that as well. Because you can't help yourself or anyone else unless you are whole and complete, right? When you can go within and be whole and complete and do that work, then it plays out in other areas of your life. So I do still kind of have my Chiron sitting on my North Node. Hey, love. Speaking of astrologers. So it's still pausing. I wanted to have, okay, here's another thing. Do you remember how I said I was really scared everything was getting so big, right? Like right now, I honestly, the truth is there's about 150 people to get back to. And that scares me because I feel bad that there's 150 people to get back to. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot. For a little Canadian like me, who's just like in the small town, that's a lot, right? And my head just says, don't worry, divine timing. When you talk to them is when you're meant to talk to them. And I get that, but as my human, I'm just like, man, can I stop being on pause now? Like, am I good? And so the answer is yes to that. I have decided to make the free will choice to continue to channel. So what's going to come here in October is I'm going to start channeling. So for me, it's really hard and it messes me up channeling on Instagram because look at everybody as connections and conduits. Okay. So I'm tapped into what? There's 48 people watching this right now. Okay. And so I'm tapped into now 48 people who's tapped into how many other people, right? So that's a lot, right? So I like to do the channeling workshops via Zoom and they're closed workshops. What I ran into last time, the last one that I did, I had over 80 people in it. But the problem was I wasn't, because y'all know me and I'm real bad with technology, okay? Like I just got internet on my phone about fucking 6 months ago, right? So basically what I ended up was doing is I was pre-emailing, pre-giving everyone the Zoom link. So when I went to channel into that workshop is what then happened is I had people still signing up for it. Well, now I was in it. So my main focus is getting the booking service and the website finished. I wanted to have it done. The goal, my human goal, was to have it done by this week, right? I really wanted to have it done before retrograde hit. Obviously, that didn't happen because I've had electrical problems and floods in my house. So it is what it is. But because when I'm offering people certain slots and they're all around the world, I'm like offering one person a spot and then waiting for them to respond, waiting for them to take it or not take it. And then you have to convert it between their time zones. So this is like obviously where I had to learn, as much as I don't like technology, I'm going to need technology. So my main focus right now, finish, obviously making sure my house is safe for my little girls, and then getting that website up and running. So I do already know what times for these soul path readings are going to happen. I have that already balanced out. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to start doing that 22-day challenge again. I'll do another one of those because it was incredible. And I think we need to use these energies before the end of the year. As of channeling, yes, I will be doing channeling workshops, and I want to open them up to where people can ask the questions. Same like Esther Hicks style. Okay. So if you have messaged me and I have not got back to you, I am very sorry. My human wishes I could get back to everybody instantly, but I have been on a massive block, but I needed to have my own ascension before and finish those own little things before I can teach somebody else to, right? You have to inspire yourself and then inspire the world. So you're going to see a lot more of me coming up. You know, the biggest message is divine timing and surrender. Everyone right now is being challenged to surrender and to get into that power of now. Play out your life hour by hour. Visualize the next hour and then just do it like that. Break it down small. The energies that are coming are really tough. I'm not going to fucking lie. Okay. They're really tough. And, you know, it was interesting because I was talking to a friend who's an astrologer, and I said, like, why is everything hitting me right now? And, you know, because I have so much on that galactic center and everything. And I think that's what helps me channel and all of that stuff. It was like, you have to go through it so then you can teach other people to go through it. Right. Little did I know it was going to be this many months. Little did I know I would go all the way to fucking England and MF wouldn't meet me. I still can't comprehend, but it is what it is. Right. It was all supposed to plan out. England was incredible though, going to like Stonehenge, and I went to Avonbury-Henge, and Bath is my favorite. Bath and Oxford. My daughter now wants to go to college in Oxford, so that would be incredible. And it was home. I needed to go there, and it wasn't to meet the twin flame. I mean, that would have obviously been a bonus, but my human wanted to go there for that. My soul took me there for a different reason, right? It's interesting how things play out. But if we can learn to surrender and we just do us right now, that's the only thing that's important. Hour by hour, do you right now. I am going to start getting back to people, but I'm not going to book anyone until I have that website because it's just too hard. What I want is just you guys to go in there. You guys can book the spot, like the spot, and then we can do that soul path reading. I really had to go within and make that free will choice on if my human wanted to do this, because I needed to not be scared of the success, because I was petrified and I didn't even know it until I left him that voicemail. I didn't even know. I had no clue. I didn't know a person can be that scared of success. And I also was scared because I just felt like I couldn't get to everyone fast enough. And that's, you know, that's going to be a fear. But when I asked myself, wait, how am I going to get to everyone fast enough? My head said, you need to start channeling bigger workshops, bigger groups for people. So, you know, again, I'm not going to watch my channeled stuff though, because my head tells me in about 2 years, I think I'll be able to, but until then, I don't think I can, because my human just can't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have a hard time seeing myself say something that I didn't say. It's like, it's your body, but it's not your words, and you're not you. Your tone changes, your voice changes, everything changes. And like, my human's just freaked the fuck out. Am I choosing to still do it? Yeah. But, you know. Yes, exactly, Tara. Scheduling through the website is massive, but you guys all know me. I fucking hate technology. I should have been born in the 40s. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very traditional. So, yeah, if it counts, I'm single for life. That I have decided. It was that person or no person, which is totally fine with me. But I think what's going to come is going to be very hard for people, but very incredible. If we can get through it, which we can get through it, and the way to get through it is at 5 by 5. Remember, if something didn't happen 5 minutes ago, don't spend longer than 5 minutes on it. If something is not happening within the next 5, don't spend longer than 5 minutes on that as well. Okay? Start there. For the next week, I challenge you all, do your life hour by hour. Pre-visualize, pre-see what that hour is going to look like. That will bring you more to that power of now. Okay? I am going to jump on live again later this week. I wasn't planning on it, but my head's telling me to. Hold on. Well, I just found out my niece is coming, so I don't, what fucking day am I going to do this? I think Thursday. My head's saying do a Q&A live on Thursday. So maybe my electrician and plumber's not coming on Thursday. Thursday or Friday? I think I'm going to jump on Thursday evening. It's saying Thursday. There's something about Thursday. Okay, so I guess I'm coming on live on Thursday. And I will answer some questions, and whoever shows up is meant to show up. So, yeah. As for booking, you guys need to just give me a couple more weeks. I will get back to everybody. Okay, realistically, what am I hearing? Realistically, I probably won't be booking anybody until the first week now of October. So what does that give me? 2 more weeks. That will have the website done. And also the plumber and the electrician can finish in my house. What ended up happening in my house ended up opening a big can of worms. So some rooms, I don't even have lights. I don't have my plugs beside my bed don't work. So like to charge my phone right now, turn on a lamp, we're redoing all the electrical in my house, plumbing, everything. So I'm under massive renovations. And then I've just decided that my roof is now getting done. So it's crazy, crazy, crazy. I hear Thursday ruled by Jupiter is what Missy just wrote. Oh, well, it's very interesting. So I wanted to get back on the live and everything last week, right? Wanted to have the website done before retrograde. That didn't happen because then I had all this stuff happen in my house. Then last week, my grandpa calls me and said he's coming 12 hours away to visit. So that happened unexpectedly. And now tomorrow, my niece is coming for a week. Well, she's coming till Thursday. So I'm just kind of getting hit hard. But yeah, so Thursday is ruled by Jupiter. That might be why the guides are saying go on a live on Thursday and do a Q&A. I fucking hope they don't make me channel. But I will be on live on Thursday to answer. Apparently, there's some questions that people need answered like fucking yesterday. So I'll sit down later and I'll see what time that's going to be. And then I'll post it and I'll see. Yeah. So thank you so much for everyone for not, for understanding, basically. I really thought I was just taking that month of April off for my sister's wedding, right? I didn't realize that then May I was going to get hit hard with all the twin flame stuff coming up. And then June, it was just kind of like, keep going within, figure out if you want to channel, figure out, are you going to surrender to these gifts or not? And then it was like, as soon as Canada opened, my head said, go to England. I knew a week in advance, and then I just fucked off to England for a month and then came home to a flood and some electrical problems, blowing up my house. So it's sometimes I just sit here and I'm like, fuck, man. This is fucking funny. Like, I don't even know if I could fucking write how funny this is. Like, who comes home from England and the twin flame didn't meet me in England, read everything and wouldn't meet me. And that's fine. But, well, not really. It was very painful, actually. It was very, very painful. But who comes home from England, drives 12 hours to get home, and their fucking basement's flooded. They go to plug in a fan for my kid, and then the electrical just starts smoking. So it's my fault. Me too, twin flames issue. What if DM fucks up so bad? There is no messing up, right? You know what's interesting is I went all the way to England and MF, and I was in his hometown. I was 5 minutes from his house. I chose not to go to his house because that was, who does that? That's fucking crazy. But I couldn't understand. I'm like, why would God, universe, why would you send me all the way here and be so close yet so far? I couldn't understand it. And I wanted to hate him. Like, my human was so fucking mad. My human's like, just relationship aside, friend to a friend, I came across the fucking world for one person. I have not dated anybody in years. I know who my person is, and I came across the world just to see him, and he would not meet me or respond. And I couldn't understand it, and I wanted to really be mad at him. My human wanted to be mad at him, but I was born to see everybody as souls, so I understood. I could feel the fear. I couldn't even be mad at him. And I was 5 minutes from his house. I left my children, flew to England for a month, and he didn't. And it was more about me. You know, it wasn't actually, I wasn't sent to England to go to actually see him. I got over a big fear. For one, I'm in Canada. I'm in a really small town. For me to leave my kids as a single mom and fly to England is the scariest thing I've ever had to do. And to do it alone was so scary. I've never done anything like that. I've been a mom since I was 20, right? My oldest is now 15. So that was massive. And when it comes to the twin flame thing, and sorry, I hate calling MF a twin flame. My head always says golden flame healers. But the thing is, I can say I did everything I could. If I sat here in Canada, I couldn't say that. I needed to be able to say, I did everything in my power. I physically went all the way there. I did everything I could. And it may not have worked out, and sometimes life doesn't work out. But what I can say is, I can look myself in the mirror and say, I have loved. I have continued to love. I have only seen the soul and the beauty. I never see the fear in the other person. I never see the hate. I never see what happens to us on a 3D. And I can say that I did all I could. And now I just surrender. It was amazing to still go, to know that England feels like home, to know that I know I will be there one day. And if it's not with that person because of their free will, it's just me and little old me. And I met a lot of good friends there. And it's great. It's so great. Sometimes we have these soul paths. And this is what I always say. What I can see sometimes is a blessing and a curse, right? Just because we have this plan, we have free will. But if you can say you did all that you could for someone, for even yourself, if you can look in the mirror and say, I fucking did the best I could. I tried the best. I loved the best. I didn't, never ever see the bad though. Look at everything. It's like my ex-husband, how many times have I been put in the hospital and everything? I never see the bad in him because he's my greatest teacher. Same with MF in England. I'm never going to see the bad ever because that bad isn't that person. That's the fear. That's the insecurity. That's the other things. We can't control another person. What we control is us. And there's too many people out there that decide to see the hate. What would it look like if you only saw the love and unconditionally? I love this person unconditionally. I don't care if they're in my life or if they're not in my life. My human, yeah, it'd be cool to be in my life. But if that person just can't, then that person can't. But when I give love, and this is true love for anyone and anything, when you give love, give it unconditionally. It is not based on the condition that you're with the person. It is not based on the condition that the person is in your life. It is based on the condition that you love them purely. And your soul wants nothing but their soul to be happy with or without us. My human went all the way to England just to get over my biggest fear and to try. It didn't work. And that's okay. But guess what I learned? I am fucking tough. I am fucking stubborn, and I am fucking determined. It didn't work though. The other person has free will. That's still okay. Now, just surrender and do your own path. Because unity cannot happen with anyone outside of us. Not family, not relationships, not children, nothing until we have unity within first. And leave your mascara. What? Oh, what did I miss? Yeah, I know. You guys all know me. This is like 5-day-old makeup. I hate washing my face. I'm so fucking lazy. It's our human lessons that you can understand. Yeah, I mean, we're in a world of polarity, right? You have to experience the shadow to experience the light. How do you know what you do want if you don't experience what you don't want? You know what I learned from going to England? I want someone that would totally go across the world just to meet me for 5 minutes. That'd be sweet. However, I believe I'm single for life, and I'm okay with that. I have other shit to do, like the channeling and not being so scared of it. Yes, greatest teacher. Everyone that hurts us is a greatest teacher, and most things that we go through are all pre-planned anyway. When I do my one-on-one readings, I teach you guys all that. I'm just going to scroll up and read some of these comments. Just needed to be in the same airspace as him for a while. Yeah, so Tara, I did go to the Rock Place. There is a place in his hometown that I visualized, and I didn't know. Originally I didn't know it was his, like where it was in the world. And then I found out it was like 5 minutes from his house. I'm not going to lie. My human was like kind of upset that it was exactly what I visualized. I'm like, fuck. Would have made me feel better if it wasn't, but it was. And it was incredible. There is some kind of soul connection between me and this little rock place waterfall thing. So, yeah. Well, you know, who just wrote that about ghosted? He chased me and then ghosted. Yeah, you know, to be honest, we don't have control over the other person. All we have control over is love. Do you know how many people want me to hate him? And especially for the fact that I went all the way to England. And I'm like, no, that's exactly the opposite of what I teach. Why would I hate someone that hurt me? Why? Because if I really love someone, it wouldn't matter if I was in their life or not in their life. True love is wanting nothing but their happiness, even if I can't bring that happiness. Right? So apparently my head said, apparently I'm doing a live. Apparently I'm doing a live on Thursday, and it's going to be a Q&A, and I'm going to help you guys answer some questions. I don't know if I'm going to channel. I have no clue. Yeah. Until then, I do challenge you all to live hour by hour just for the next week. There's a lot of crazy energies, okay? I'm going to get the website up. You went there for yourself first. Yes, I did. I did. And England's incredible. I got my cool cup, my coffee that's all cold. Oh, that was another thing. Guess what happened too in the last couple months? So, you know, like anyone who kind of normally taps in, like if you talk to any medium or people like that, they tell you that we're addicted to coffee and chocolate. I was literally living on chocolate and coffee bad. You guys know this. I'm like Instagram famous for going to bed with peanut butter cups. So I stopped eating sugar in the last month, and it's fucked up, but it's great because I'm not having those energetic spikes anymore. And that's, again, we needed to have unity within first and then unity without, right? So if you are one of the 150 people that have messaged me and I have not got back to you yet, I hope that you see this live, and I hope that you understand I am trying. I just needed to do this work first. And when we talk is definitely when we are meant to talk. But my head's telling me I'm doing a live on Thursday to answer people's questions, because apparently there's questions that people need immediately. So I will pre-post when that's going to be. So Yeah. Anyway, guys, I should probably jump off because I think my electrician sent me a message. She was supposed to be here at 9. Hold on. I wonder if I can scroll down. One sec. 9:20. Just wait. Oh, she's coming at 9:30. She texted and said she was coming at 9:30. I didn't know that. That worked out really well. Yeah. Anyway, yes, everything is so okay. Watch back on this. It's amazing. I have decided to surrender into the gift of channeling, even though I don't fucking like it. I don't want to ever see myself do it. It is what it is. Do you for 1 week. I challenge all of you. Okay. Yes, I will repost it. It ended up being a really live post. I was only going to come on for 5 minutes, and then you guys know me. I talk my fucking face off. So, yeah, but I missed you guys all so much. It's interesting, like, it's interesting when you go within and you see what comes up. Because I really could not understand why I couldn't bring myself. Now I've seen it in my birth chart, the Chiron sitting on my North Node, Saturn sitting on my Sun, also blocking my Mercury, which is my speech. But it wasn't until I left him that voicemail and I said, I don't know why I physically can't. And I said, I don't know why, because I love this. I love being able to help the people who are ready. Because I spent my entire life seeing everybody's energy grids, and every person I tried to help, I couldn't help because they weren't ready. And so once I started this platform, the people who were ready were coming, and it was finally made sense on why I could see everything, right? And I didn't understand why in the last couple months I physically couldn't even bring myself to open up the button, right? To click on this page. And it wasn't until I was talking to MF's voicemail that I said, I was so scared of how big it got so quick, and I am petrified of channeling. And it just came out of my mouth. I had no fucking idea. I just thought I had to go within and do a little bit more work, like on my 3D house, kids, all that fun stuff. But no, the truth is I was scared because it was going so quick, and I didn't have the proper things in play. Like that last channeling workshop, there was 80 people, and people were still signing up as I was now in it. And now I'm in a full channel, and I can't send them the Zoom link, and they already paid. Like, it was just, so now it's taught me, go within, have the right systems in place. So give me a couple more weeks, guys. Electrician is going to come get me power in my other rooms of my house. The plumber's coming this week. Now my niece is coming. I had my grandparents last week. But by retrograde, so I'm going to work on the website and everything, finishing that through this. Come October, we're going to hit the next October, November, December, very fucking hard. Very, 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 very hard. So I'm going to open up a lot of the one-on-one soul path readings. We'll talk about your grid, but not only that, the channeling sessions, because we need to use these energies before we click into, right? So just know that if you have, it's been really hard time for Aquarius because it's sitting on ours, right? But that's the best part about pre-knowing. Do you know what I mean? Some things we're not supposed to pre-know, though. Like if God would have told me that I would go all the way to England and he wouldn't have shown up, I probably wouldn't have gone, but I needed to go for me, right? Oh, want to know a fun fact before I get off? So my maiden name is Lancaster. So my family's from England. It's always felt like home, even though I had never been there until I just went there like a month ago. Well, my last name's Lancaster, so my family is from Lancaster. So I went to like Lancaster Castle, which then turned into Lancaster Prison, and they had like the Lancaster witches and everything. It was so crazy. It was so crazy. So I don't know what it is with me in England, you guys know, but it is home. With or without MF, it's home. So you're an Aquarius, I'm a Libra. I'm an Aquarius sun, Libra rising. So I'm an Aquarius sun, Libra rising, Pisces moon. But my Jupiter is beside my Pisces moon, which kind of enhances the psychic. But then I have a few things on that. I think my Uranus and what's the other one? Oh, Venus is on the galactic center. I think that's what makes me channel, even though my human doesn't like it. Anyway, guys, I love you so much. I have about 10 minutes before my electrician comes She's an amazing electrician. She's coming, and she's coming on a Sunday, which is great. So I don't even have like a light in my living room yet and plugins in my bedroom. So we're going to figure it out. I'm going to come live on Thursday to do some Q&A. My head just keeps telling me there's people who need answers now. And then is what I'm going to do is realistically, readings and everything will open up the first week of October. I do have 150 people to get back to now. So please, please just know I am trying my very best. I have a house falling apart, 2 little kids who are teenagers, and I'm trying my best. So I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. I love you all so much. And we're going to hit October, November, and December very hard. I'm going to do lots of channeling workshops. We're just going to hit it really hard. And see, that gives me goosebumps. So yeah. Anyway, I love you guys all so much. Thank you. And I will save this, okay? I'm sorry this went on for so long and I rambled for so long, but I just wanted to get on here and really be vulnerable with you guys and let you know, you know, God's spirit blocked me, but my human was scared too. You know, my human was, I felt like I was letting people down, not getting to people fast enough. I was scared of how fast it was going. And now I've realized if I just have the systems in play, you know, the website and the booking and actually do the technology thing, then it will be easier. But it hurts me knowing that I have so many people to get back to and I haven't yet. Just please have divine timing. Because that's been my biggest struggle about coming back is I just want to help the people who are ready. I've wanted my whole life just to help the people who are ready. And I'm going to figure out ways to get to everyone fast. If we got to do the big workshops and the big channeling sessions, perfect. We'll do that, right? The one-on-ones, I don't go into a channel in the one-on-ones. Okay, see, they're correcting me. I go into like a half a channel. I tap into your higher self. So it's like you talking to you, but I'm tapping into like your soul contracts, your life purpose, life lessons, all of that fun stuff. So, thank you. You're so sweet. Okay. I love you guys all so, 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 so much. I am going to go get ready for the electrician. Everybody fingers crossed. I just want one plug-in beside my bed to work. Okay. It's really weird not being able to plug in your phone and have your light turned on. So I'm sure she'll do that for me today. I love you guys all. I'm going to save this. Just know, hitting hard come October, hitting hard. Just give me like just a couple more weeks to finish the website and a couple more weeks to make my house not blow up. Anyway, okay. Oh, sorry. And I will see you on Thursday because my guides are telling me on Thursday. Paul, I cannot come and play disc golf. The electrician's coming to my house. Call Jason. My friend wants to go play disc golf. It's like golf, but it's like frisbees. Anyway, that's not happening. So, yeah. Love you guys all. I will see you on Thursday. I'll pre-post on my page what time on Thursday. Okay? I think it might be channeling, even though I don't want it to be channeling. So, they can just talk faster through me. So, and I did channel a small message somewhere in this, and I don't remember when, and I'm not sure if anybody knows what time I said whatever I said. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. This next couple days, this week, 1 hour by hour. Okay. Pre-visualize the next hour and just don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. Okay. No longer than 5 minutes on it. Start with that. All right. Because that will change your fucking life. And that's what we need right now. These energies are going to get worse. So if you're watching this, you've already done most of the work. Okay. Bye, guys. I love you. Fingers crossed that I remember how to save this. Okay. We'll talk soon. And if you've messaged me, I'm so sorry. I'm going to get back to you. Divine timing. Okay. Bye, guys.